What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Woo-wee! People having mixed emotions about the administration, a lot of layoffs in the federal and private sector. So I got this video I want to play of this young lady talking about what's been going on with her company, layoffs, and we're going to listen to what she got to say, and then I'm going to be back with my perspective and also news information from different news outlets. All right, check it out.
I swear, nothing pisses me off more than corporate layoffs. Like, you could be doing everything 100% right and you could still get laid off. And all these companies lack transparency, which is the worst part of it all. Like, just tell your employees how many layoffs are going to happen, when they're going to happen, and don't just send out random emails. Although I haven't personally been affected by layoffs, I'm angry. I'm angry for my coworkers, my colleagues, and my friends at other companies that have been laid off. And what pisses me off more is when companies lay off, but they're also hiring at the same time. Like, maybe if you just reshuffled some of the people you were laying off, you could fill those open positions internally instead of outsourcing. I'm just so angry because people don't deserve this. So if you're going through layoffs right now, I truly am so sorry, and just know that it's not your fault. The system sucks, the economy sucks, and being laid off sucks.
All right, y'all. So y'all heard the lady, man. She doesn't understand why all these firings is taking place, right? Companies is laying off people, firing people. Then they go behind and hire different people here and there. Listen, man, it's all about money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. The CEOs and the presidents, the owners, they have a budget. They have a cap. I'm just being honest with you. They do. And if the company is losing money and they can get rid of some people to shrink the cost, that's what they're going to do. It's a grimy business. But it's business, never personal. So that's why as a person, you got to set yourself up for success. What you mean by that, Emilio? You have to be like this. What does the world need? What skill can I obtain or require that the world needs? Therefore, my probability of being fired will not be high because I'm needed. See, when you're needed, you won't have to worry about being laid off or fired so much. When you're not needed, then you become a liability and then you get scratched off. It's unfortunate, but it is a reality. All right. So I appreciate the lady's insight. I appreciate her comments. I appreciate her concerns. I appreciate why she doesn't understand why companies do what they do. But at the end of the day, they have a business to run, and the money is the bottom line, the top line, and the middle line. And as long as they do what they're doing within the guidelines of the law, they won't get in trouble. Notify the people that's being fired at a specific time and day. Give them enough time so they can come up with a plan, and that's what they're gonna do. Yes, is it grimy? Sure, but that's business. Yes, would you like them to have a one-on-one interview with you and tell you to your face, look, we're gonna let you go? Sure, but they ain't gotta do that. They can send you an email. Hey, Mr. Duran, today is February 17th. We're letting you know by June 17th, you will not have a job. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your hard work for the company. What am I going to do? Be mad and cry and shit? Talking about some, damn, at least they could have told me face to face. They ain't got to tell you shit. At least they told you in the email. See, that's the problem. Listen, stop being so emotional, man. These corporations and businesses, they ain't your spouse. They don't owe you a damn thing. You come, you work, they pay for your work and time. End of discussion. Y'all be falling for this kumbaya stuff, man. Stop falling for it. All right? This is chess, not checkers, man. So according to CBS News, shout out to CBS News. I always go to different news outlets for information. So, Trump administration fires over 400 DHS employees as mass firings continue. Man, oh man. People are upset. People are upset. People are upset. Alright, the Trump administration on Friday fired more than 400 employees at the Department of Homeland Security. The latest effort in a government-wide campaign to dramatically reduce the federal workforce. Alright, so there you see. Why is he doing that? He wants to reduce the federal workforce. Why? He wants to reduce the federal workforce. You're getting the answer to the why, you just don't like the answer. Too bad. Officials at DHS said they had fired hundreds of employees across several of its agencies after supervisors identified non-mission critical personnel in probationary status. Non-mission critical personnel in probationary status. What does that mean? That means that your job was not that important and you are still on probation. So since your job is not that important and you're on probation, you're fired. That's basically what it means. All right. Within the nation's top cybersecurity agency known as CISA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, all right, which administers the nation's legal immigration system, among others. All right, so those are the agencies he fired people from. He said, hey, y'all over there at these companies, non-mission essential people, and they on probation, tell them, have a good day. That ain't right. It's business. All right. So over the weekend, probationary workers across DHS, yep, they received their virtual letters informing them they've been terminated. Unfortunately, the agent finds that you are not fit for continued employment because your ability, knowledge, and skills do not fit the agency's current needs. Non-mission essential. You're not important. Your skills is low. Your knowledge is low. Your ability is low. Therefore, we're letting you go. Okay? All right. Let's see. So, despite receiving boilerplate letters notifying them they are no longer up to the task, several department supervisors granted anonymity to speak candidly, said some of these fired were top performers. Among those fired were employees who had been aggressively recruited and had left bitter and better paying jobs for their opportunity to join the federal service. Well, listen, we understand the supervisor speaks of you highly. Some of y'all are great workers, but unfortunately, you're not needed because your skill is not mission essential. Okay? I'm just being honest with you, man. I don't know what you was doing. I could use an example and give an example. Like, you could have been the best janitor, coming to work on time. When you leave the bathroom, the hallways is waxed, mopped, offices and hallway is clean. But it's not mission essential, so you gotta leave. It's grimy. It's grimy. All right. Under President Trump's leadership, we are making sweeping cuts and reform across the federal government to eliminate egregious waste and incompetence that has been happening for decades. See? So he's letting you know, listen, man, this ain't just me. I'm just cleaning stuff up that people been fucking up for years. All right? Check this out. Now, the personal cuts will result in roughly $50 million in savings, and more than 200 in personnel were fired from FEMA, the nation's disaster relief agency. They need to be fired. FEMA couldn't even help people in Carolina with the hurricane. There was no money. Remember, the Biden and Harris administration used FEMA money to help illegal migrants, remember? So, hey, man, this is what happens. This is what happens, man. Poor leadership in the old administration caused y'all to lose y'all jobs, man. President Trump is like, hey, y'all always complaining y'all ain't got no money. Carolina's in shambles. Yet y'all sending money over here to illegals in Ukraine. You know what? I'm about to fire a lot of y'all, man. Y'all gonna pay for what they did, because I know most of y'all voted for them anyway. Hey, man, casualties of war. It's heartbreaking. Yes, it's emotional. But this is business, and guess what? I understand, and if it happened to me, I wouldn't be upset about it. I say, okay, I need to obtain some more skills so I can be an asset to a company, so I could be the best version of myself, and then the company would say, Mr. Duran has some great skills. We need him. We need him. He makes us money. We need him. All right? Or you just invest in yourself and be the best you can be and work hard every single day. I believe in that. But unfortunately, some people don't understand, and they let business become emotional, and most of them crash out, and most of them bounce back. But this is what it is, man. So this is my perspective on it, and I would like to hear from y'all. Leave a comment, and at the end of my video, I'm gonna put, of course, a news outlet video on there so you can hear from them. I'm done talking. This is all I got to say.
Thousands more federal workers were fired by the Trump administration. The targets included education, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services, including the CDC.
Less than a month into his term, President Trump took a victory lap at the Daytona International Speedway Sunday. President Trump and billionaire ally Elon Musk have worked to reshape and downsize the federal government, a move his supporters are cheering on.
I think he came in, pedal to the metal, as they would say here.
But bearing the brunt of the cost cutting are the tens of thousands of probationary federal workers, newer hires who have been in their roles for a year or two. Close to 1,300 of those employees have been terminated from the Centers for Disease Control, and we're learning about thousands more across other government agencies.
I'd say the last couple of weeks, there was a lot of stress, fear, and tension.
Chelsea Milburn, based in Nevada, was fired last week from the Department of Education. She started last fall, but before that, she served more than a decade in the U.S. Navy. She's part of the approximately 30% of federal workers who are military veterans.
The message right now is that the people making the decisions about whether or not we keep our jobs, how we're treated, and how the termination of our jobs are handled don't care about our service.
The Department of Veterans Affairs announced last week more than 1,000 workers were fired, but the majority of the agency's 43,000 probationary employees are exempt. Democratic senators say the wider cuts are having a negative impact.
Right.